everybody, and welcome to yet another Final Fantasy 14 stream. There, Fallbolt. So, today I am basically planning on that we are gonna try and do this little thing here, basically the trials for Shadowbringers. Basically get started on that questline. It's basically called the Sorrows of Warlit and are located Urbania. Basically need to go like over here to Alamigo. But first we have a little thing with the Yora questline that we can do, because turns out the weekly quest that I can get from the Doomsaying Dwarf was not located in the raids. It was located in the raids that we can access outside, basically. So for example, the Puppet's Bunker, I don't need to go into the actual raid through the duty finder or anything. I just need to walk through the door into it, and then the exploratory version, that's where you apparently complete those. Didn't know that until I completed one version of the I'm forgetting what that raid is called now, the Copied Factory. How's the weekend been? My weekend has been fine. Haven't really done a whole lot. Played a little bit of Final Fantasy, I guess, yesterday with Chun Maru, who sometimes shows up in the chat. And apart from that, not much. I guess I made a small dent in my Watch Later playlist of videos on YouTube. Basically, I have like a ton of videos on there. Did cut out quite a few of them because there was basically a list of podcast that I'd formerly listened to, but I just wasn't really interested in watching it anymore, and I might honestly cut out another one from the same people, just because I'm just kind of like falling off on their content, to be honest. There's not a whole lot of it that I actually watch anymore. But yeah, my weekend has basically just been fine. What about you? How's your been? How's your I can't speak. How has yours been? That's what I want to say. Basically, since I basically completed this quest like yesterday, I think I still need to like do it again, but he basically just says that, hey, go and speak with the Dig Chief, so I guess I'll do that now, so we can, I guess, make a little bit more progress. And good thing that I didn't talk to him before.
Lala ull never believe this ho, Shana. Something's arrived at the village for you, from Konog. It looks to be some kind of technological what's it, see this gold pattern here? Haven't the faintest how you'd read it, though.
This portable archive, the thing is built, should do the trick. Just the thingamabob, the job. That one.
Huh, so you just wave this archive at it? Well, there you go. Feel free to check it at your leisure. You know, might be as Konog's up and left the village, but the fact that he's still keeping in touch, it gives me hope that he hasn't given up on us yet. So I'll keep doing what I can. I'll keep working to change this village into a place that Konog would want to return to.
Your weekend has been fine besides this Monday. Trying to install new legs on your desk from 90 centimeters to 70. But found out your for your back you need 80 centimeters. bought those, but setting set up 3 times is tiring. Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a pain in the ass.
We've got lots of mountains to climb and it's going to take a lot of time. But bit by bit and with your help, I'm sure we'll get there. You obtain a message from Konog. The message can be viewed in your port.
So I can read that in that. Let's see. So that we have Konog's messages. Dear Shanna, I hope this message finds you. I'm going on a journey to learn the secrets of the white spheres for myself. Maybe some of them will give use to you. I'll keep a record just in case. Or not. Okay. The painful, so you're sitting on the floor and think, I should just sleep here now. Like, if you decide to sleep on the floor, at least make sure you put like a mattress or something so it's not like extremely like hard wood you're just lying on. I don't think that's good for you. Let's see here. I can do this one tomorrow. I'm kind of thinking of saving this one maybe for Wednesday. It's weekly, so I can basically show it off really and also get the actual dialogue part. But yeah. That was basically the main thing I wanted to do here, so now it's on to Almigo, so we can start on the actual questline I want to do. Alright, let's see. Start the Ruby Doomsday quest. Resistance and Alliance forces prepare in earnest as a new threat looms on the horizon.
Shauna. Glad you could make it. As you may have heard, Commander Alden has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Not that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front line against these new weapons. If they're designed to slay primals, they'd make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, it's Gaius Balsar and his followers who've led the charge so far. By all accounts, they've been giving as good as they get. Unfortunately, their sorties have met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Praetoria will show you the way.
Okay, now I need to go all the way over here. Distance. Okay, so we can get sent somewhere else after this. So I have seen, based on stuff that I have, I've basically been using a site to try to track my triple triad cards, and apparently there is a card that's based on one of the bosses that I can basically fight, or that I'm gonna fight during this quest line, that is gotten from a person I need to play against. But that person is in a place that I haven't found yet. So I'm guessing there's a side area that we're gonna go to at some point.
On your way to headquarters, I take it?
Company resistance via to Alliance headquarters. Sure. This is the place where you can go to the Gimlet Dark, I think it's called. Yep, Gimlet Dark.
So, your mind is set? Then I shall apprise you of the situation. We have discovered that the previously abandoned Ultima weapon project is being helmed by the reformed XIV Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the XIV front. Its name, the Ruby weapon. Severa and I were able to get within striking distance during one of its test runs and made an attempt to destroy it.
An attempt that ended in failure, alas. Based on our knowledge of the original Ultima weapon, the explosives we employed should have been sufficient to blast through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessor may have proven the source of its resilience.
As you well know, the Ultima weapon was designed to absorb ether from icons, and the Ruby weapon no doubt shares that ability. If any were summoned during the uprisings in Garlemald's occupied territories, and thereafter consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable. But its near impenetrable armor was only the beginning of our troubles. It fought back with whip-like claws that can be extended and contracted at will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw.
Gaius was injured shielding me from the Ruby weapon's assault. Even now, he struggles to stand, damn it all. If I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened.
You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I am the one who initiated the Ultima weapon project. If I must give my life to bury this shameful legacy, then so be it. If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hobbled within firing distance. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head, on both the foe we face and the Empire itself. We all know that asking for Shauna's assistance presents our best chance of stopping that war machina. 'Tis true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be her. Though I have no right to ask this of you, will you lend us your strength?
I'm not one to back down from a fight, or I do this for Eorzea. Let's go with the top one.
You have my thanks. And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word that the Empire is preparing to advance on the Gimlight Dark. That is where we will intercept them. If our fears are proven correct, the Ruby weapon will be among their host. Should it break through our lines, there is no telling the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way. What price must the world pay for my hubris?
Is it gonna have a thing unlocked? Message? Nope. Short while earlier in the Guardian occupying city of Wurlitz, magic installation. Hey.
Commencing Ruby weapon activation sequence. All units, stand by. Initiating synthetic orosite system. Fusion successful, no signs of incompatibility. Awaiting your signal. Ruby weapon, codename Darnus. Ready for launch.
So I guess that's the Ruby weapon.
Valdolin has briefed me on our mission. I am to take you as far as our expected point of contact with the Ruby weapon. Once we arrive, the rest is up to you, I'm afraid.
And we to get Cinder's Rift unmarked. Okay, now the question is just how long is these things gonna take? And that's actually part of the mobile tombstone thing. Nice. Gonna get one tombstone from this one. Actually wondering, are all of these ones specifically in that rotation? I'm gonna look that up. That's the wrong one that I'm looking at there. Let's see here. Where is that page? There it is. Let's see here. What are the different objectives? Let's see here. So, yep, these three trials are all part of the Blue Tombstone event. Nice. That could mean that it might go a bit faster with the queue times, considering that some people might be able to do those. But I think people are probably still just gonna do the good old Ormvale farm, since that does give 4 tomes, and you can usually do that in like, I don't know, less, like around 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the group. Actually curious. That's the wrong one. There it is. Oh. No group set up for that farm. And I don't see anyone who's made a group for this one either. Okay. Maybe people just like farmed all the tombstones that they needed early on, because how long is this event actually going on for now? Let's see, it started... a week ago. So, maybe people have already gotten all the things they wanted. To be honest, most of the things... like, it was really only the earrings, I guess, that people would really want. Necessarily, most of the other things you could kind of get from relatively easy places. Farming, but still. I will say there is an amount from that event that I might try and get, simply because the actual trial is fucking difficult and kind of hard to actually solo on extreme, even with 3 people at like 80 plus level. This fucking song. Mark III, anti-icon, war machine, the ruby weapon. Enemy detected. Commencing attack. Wait, we're doing a countdown apparently.
Behold the ruby weapon. It will be the last thing you ever see. Preparing combat data. Subject, Darnus.
I have no idea about like mechanics for this because I have not looked up any of it. So it's gonna be interesting. I actually went ahead and bought this song on
Deploying
on my PSN roll.
Anti-icon weaponry. Restraints removed.
I have seen a little bit of like clips from this, and apparently you're supposed to be standing on this at certain points. Because otherwise you basically get like pulled down on that thing. Move away from that.
You won't even see them coming.
Okay. Did not expect that. High-powered foaming lasers.
Commencing high-velocity assault.
Rings from light. Okay, should be waiting for that. Waiting with the
such speed, but I'm still in control.
Kind of missed out a bit on the damage output there. I'm the one who has like the, or I was almost the one with the second highest, like DPS levels, I guess. Oh. Which one is it this time? Okay, that's... Okay, undermines and basically just deals damage to those locations. Oh.
This can't be. The ruby weapon is unstoppable. I'm sorry, everyone. This is the end for me. Activating Oversoul. Increasing pilot override rate to 100%. Commencing forced shutdown and system restart. Synthetic Orosite switching to Oversoul mode. Loading data sample. Darnus combat data ready. Initiating organic core override. What is this? No. Get out of my mind. Stop. No, I'm not. Nail. I am.
What the fuck?
I am Nail Van Darnus.
Hold on.
Come to purify this forsaken land. The legacy of ancient Alec is mine to command. All all my despair, all my rage. Become my shield.
Okay, I think that might actually be the what's it called? The boss that was in what's that called again? The binding coils. Downward falls. Okay.
How can this be? Almighty Dalamad, am I not thy loyal servant? Red moon of destruction, I shall prove to thee my worth. Vengeance shall be mine. Fall, fall. Death to the undeserving.
Stand in the middle.
Purge these unthinking beasts.
They went and blocked meteors. Comments, I guess. Until downward falls.
No. Dalama did fall. I know it to be true. Oh brother, Nail. Your name shall live on for eternity.
I think that might have been I'm not entirely sure now, but I think that might have been the boss from Binding Coils, or the second coil, fight number 4.
Even from afar your figure was unmistakable. As ever, an impressive display. Though as I am sure you will concur, the Ultima weapon pales in comparison to this new monstrosity. If their research is allowed to continue, the next model will be nigh on unstoppable. With that in mind, the Alliance has enlisted the help of... Wait. I hear something.
Oh. An aura?
Here to sift through what remains of the ruby weapon, are you? Ali. What do you think you're doing?
Oh, the Imperial soldiers.
Ali. Father.
What? What?
It has been too long, Alphonse. And you too, Rex.
I'm sorry, what?
Given that the Empire is proceeding with the weapon project and making inroads into Eorzea, I suppose it was only a matter of time until our paths crossed. It's wonderful to see you again, Father, although I can't say I think much of the company you've been keeping.
I know a lot's happened, but I'm just glad you're all right. And now, you can come back to Garlemald with us.
My days serving the Empire are over.
Because you're suspected of assassinating Emperor Varus? But we know you'd never do a thing like that. There must be a way to prove your innocence. Then everything can go back to the way it was.
And where I go? Is this a Luke and Darth Vader case? Not really, it's just we didn't know that he had kids or adopted kids or...
So he found you two shivering on the roadside when he was going through Warlight. Lucky for you, Ed.
Yeah. Basically, we don't really know too much about Gaius. Other than that he was a high-ranking person in the Empire. And is no longer that. But apparently he had adopted some kids, I guess.
If he hadn't, we'd probably be dead by now. As for us three, our parents all died in the epidemic. We'd still be begging on street corners if it weren't for him.
Hoping. I don't know.
I just wish there was a way we could repay Lord Gaius for all the kindness he's shown us.
He fights for the Empire, so we should, too. That'll make him proud of us.
You're saying we should join the army? I don't think that's such a good idea. Everyone in Warlight was scared of the Garleans. Why would we want to be like them? Lord Gaius is different. I know he is. You're right. He always says that the strong should lead the weak. Maybe that's why he took us in. All right. If becoming a soldier is what it takes, I'll do it. Who's with me? Count me in. And maybe one day, people look up to us like we do Lord Gaius. Then it's settled. From now on, we're all brothers and sisters fighting for the same cause.
Brothers and sisters? Then that would make Lord Gaius our father?
Well, if he doesn't mind us calling him that, I suppose so. And that makes you our big brother, since you're the oldest. You'd better be nice to us, or I'm telling father. Haha.
Okay, so that's how it is.
Father. Since you went away, a lot has changed in the Empire. For us, too. If we'd known that you were still out there, still alive, none of this would have happened.
What do you mean?
The truth is,
guessing they're getting picked up.
If you must go, I will not stop you, but answer me this, who was piloting the ruby weapon? We all know that Nail Van Darnus has not returned from the dead. Who do you think? It was, Melisandre. No. No, I refuse to believe that.
It's her.
I refuse to believe you would let that happen. She was a sister to you. To all of you. We only want to finish what you started. And while we will never forget all you have done for us, the next time we meet, it shall be as enemies. Goodbye, Father. As for you, hero of Eorzea, you'll pay for what you did to Melisandre. I swear it.
I mean, she could just have not activated the Oversoul, or whatever it's called. I think I was just trying to stop the weapon, I wasn't trying to kill her necessarily. Plus, I mean, how would I know that there was actually someone inside it? Guys did pilot, but who knows, it could have been like a remote-controlled version this time. Is it? It is it.
Well, Gaius van Baelsar. We meet again. Come to see how your precious weapon project has been proceeding in your absence, have you? You are come to collect data on the ruby weapon, correct? The pilot, Melisandre, should still be inside the cockpit. I will ask Valdolan to escort you to the wreckage. Any idea who this Melisandre is? An imperial crony of his, perhaps?
It was kind of like one of his stalkers.
One of the orphans. Gaius always did have an eye for talent and a mind to nurture it. In fact, Livia Sas Junius was another protege of his. He even took me under his wing when my father became obsessed with the Meteor project. It's strange that I felt closer to Gaius than my own flesh and blood. Then, my father and countless others lost their lives in the Bosja incident. Although he was acting under Emperor Solus's orders, he masterminded the whole thing. I'd begged him to reconsider, to put an end to this madness, but my words fell on deaf ears. That's when I turned to Gaius for support, but he was as much a pawn of the Emperor as my father, and refused to intervene. And when my turn came to serve, I defected, and fled to Eorzea. I blamed Gaius as much as any of them, perhaps even more, for the barbaric acts carried out in the name of conquest. But when we met at the Praetorium, all the hatred that had been festering inside me seemed to fade away, and I remembered the man I once respected. To think the dreaded Black Wolf was a mere plaything of the Asians, who left him broken and disgraced, having sent thousands of his men to early graves. It's more than most could bear. And now the lives of the children he raised hang in the balance. Any personal grievances I have with Gaius can wait. I'd best gather what information I can on the ruby weapon, but I'll be back as soon as possible.
Speak with Gaius again.
If it is as I remember him, it will not take long for him to finish investigating the remains of the ruby weapon. He never was one to waste time. My engineers are still in the field, but there's something I thought you should know right away. It's about the pilot. I'm not sure how to tell you this, but if Melisandre is dead, I only hope she was not made to suffer. Death would have been a kindness. In all my years, I've never seen such a perversion of science and nature. Her body was fused with the ruby weapon's core. Those last moments must have been spent in pure agony as her very life's essence was drained from her. So, she was sacrificed to power that infernal machine. We must act quickly if we are to prevent the Empire from committing further atrocities. Shauna, is there any other information you can share with us regarding the Ruby weapon prior to its deactivation? Nail Van Darnus. Did the Legatus mean that much to Melisandre? From what I gather, it sounds as if data based on Nail's combat capabilities was used to override the pilot's consciousness after she was fused with the core. If this technology is perfected and the Empire begins implanting the memories of renowned warriors such as the White Raven into its soldiers, the Alliance won't stand a chance. Is such a thing even possible?
That's more or less how soul crystals work. A similar method of transference was used on the prototype Estinian fraud, was it not? Let's go with that one.
Your friend did mention he overheard the Signiferi loading various sets of data into the test model during the battle. It would appear that the system has been improved since then. While it may bear some similarities, we won't know for certain until we've analyzed the wreckage of the Ruby weapon. It cannot be denied that combining combat data from an experienced soldier with the powers of an icon has yielded remarkable results. But in doing so, the Empire has sunk to the very depths of depravity. This is beyond forgiveness. For once, I agree with you. Yet one question remains unanswered: how were they able to obtain data on someone who was supposedly killed prior to the calamity? That's what I'm trying to determine. There is one possibility I'd like to explore, but I'll need to carry out a more thorough investigation first. Severo will provide support while you are in the field. Not only is she extremely well versed in the latest in Garlean technology, there are few soldiers I would rather have watching my back. In the meantime, Valdolan and I will follow the Ruby weapon's tracks back to its point of origin. We will learn what we can of the weapon project and the manner in which Alphonse and the others are involved. Should we uncover anything of value, we will relay it to the troops stationed here. For now, I suggest you use this lull in Garlean activity to recuperate. Would I be correct in guessing that this belated reunion with those darling orphans of yours has stirred up memories of your time in Garlemald? Remember our agreement, Gaius. If you so much as think of returning to your imperial masters, I will kill you.
Hey. So, the resistance officer, complete the quest.
So, you put down the ruby weapon? Gods, I wish I could have seen it. Not from too close, mind. I suppose I should report news of your victory to the higher UPS. I realize you must have been through quite the ordeal, but could you give me a quick summary of the battle? You make it sound so easy. From the way you tell it, anyone would think you slay hulking brutes like that for a living. I'll put all of this into a report, and leave a copy over there, should you fancy a bit of light reading. Anyway, I expect you've got more pressing matters to take care of, like going for a celebratory pint. If the Garleans pluck up the courage to come knocking again, we'll let you know. Until then, rest up.
Said we're not gonna rest up because we're gonna get right into the next quest. After a cutscene, I guess. So yeah, we don't need to wait for the next patch to drop. Meanwhile, in the World of the Majestic installation.
We should have told him the truth. He'd be able to help us, I know he would.
That's exactly the problem, Ali. If he knew the true nature of the weapon project, he'd find some way to interfere. We've come too far to back down now. I won't let Melisandre's death be in vain. Even if that means going against Father's wishes. Cheer up, Alphonse. We can all go back to being one big happy family after we've dealt with those pesky Eorzeans. It'll be just like old times. If only it were that simple. There's no guarantee any of us'll make it back alive. Excuse me? I think you're forgetting whose turn it is next. Oh yeah, of little faith. With me at the helm of the sapphire weapon, it'll be over before you know it.
Yeah, you're probably gonna die, I'm guessing.
Whatever happens, Rex, promise you'll come back to us. I couldn't bear to lose you too.
He's probably gonna die. We also got the Warlock and Fanatic. I'm gonna assume that he might be the one who unlocks the extreme versions. Perhaps. Yep, he is. So, yeah. Basically, told him will allow me to just unlock the extreme versions. I'm gonna wait with that until we're done with all of them, though. And now, sleep now in Sapphire. Get a surprise reward.
Shauna. I'm afraid we haven't much in the way of information to share from the front line. We have, however, received word that Gaius wishes to speak with you at Alliance headquarters. I've arranged an escort to take you to headquarters, so when you're ready to depart, speak with the fellow over there.
If I'm not mistaken, there's like 6 quests, I think it is, in total. 6 or 7. Check that. Sure it's 6. Yep, 6 quests. And it basically goes between first one as a trial, second one no trial, third one trial, and so on and so forth. And the last one will be just give us will be like no trial, but give us an achievement. No title though for some reason. And apparently some of these are semi-long in terms of steps, but hopefully they won't take too long.
Ready to head out?
Some of these could be long-ass cutscenes, and some of them could also just be like semi-short dialogue things.
Good. You're here. The Ironworks have completed their analysis of the ruby weapon, and Sid Garlund wishes to share his findings. I take it you can spare a few moments? Very good. Please wait here while I inform him of your arrival.
Glad you could make it, Shauna. I'm sure you're as anxious as anyone to hear what we've uncovered. Our early hypotheses were proven correct. The Garleans have designed a system whereby a pilot's consciousness can be forcibly supplanted with data based on the memories and experience of another.
So, Even a rank amateur could obtain the combat capabilities of a seasoned warrior.
Precisely, and we learned how this was made possible when we opened the cockpit. The monitors were still operational, and among the messages displayed, one particular phrase caught my attention: synthetic orosite system.
Which is what, exactly?
Well, the core of the Ultima weapon was referred to as the Heart of Sabik by the Asians. We believe it to have been a type of orosite.
Full fact about the song that played during the fight with the Ultima weapon, or with the Ruby weapon. They actually sing about the Heart of Sabik during that one. To be honest, I feel like that song is pretty good. Yeah, they basically sing about like beat the Heart of Sabik and so on. And I'm pretty sure that the song that plays during the Ultima weapon fight, after the Heart of Sabik has been used, part of the song, that song is actually extended in the song that plays during, I think, these fights.
I can't say much for the synthetic sort at this stage, but I've encountered real orosite before. It was extremely potent, perhaps equal in power to the Heart of Sabik. It's unclear whether the Garlean simulacrum possesses the same properties as genuine orosite, but I intend to follow this avenue of inquiry to see where it leads.
What we do know is that it was used to implant the combat data of Nail Van Darnus into the pilot, who has been presumed dead since before the calamity. Are you any closer to discovering how they were able to retrieve this data?
The link didn't occur to Gaius at first, but he later told me of devices fitted to the Mahitake armor of the Empire's high-ranking officers. There is reason to believe they were designed to emulate the soul crystals used throughout Eorzea.
Yes, that was rumored to be its true purpose, but it was never publicly acknowledged. Perhaps those in the upper echelons of command wanted to avoid comparisons to the called savages they were meant to be conquering.
There is also the question of whether the system even functions as intended. From what we've seen, we can assume they were successful in gathering combat data of those wearing armor equipped with the device. If the comparison with soul crystals is valid, perhaps this data was transferred via ether. However, it seems that it extracted not only memories relating to combat, but the soldier's very essence. As you saw, the pilot succumbed entirely to the will of Van Darnus. Though this is merely supposition, it's possible that being fused with the Ruby weapon's core accelerated the process and caused the deceased legatus to manifest in corporeal form.
Could it be that the death of the pilot was caused by the system malfunctioning?
It's hard to say. The Ruby weapon itself was still largely intact when it deactivated, which strongly implies that it was the synthetic orosite running amok that killed her, rather than the damage incurred during the battle. But even after our analysis, I'm afraid we still don't have enough information. For now, perhaps we should consult with Gaius as to our next plan of action.
Okay, speak with Gaius. And another cutscene.
Valdolan has come bearing vital information. I traced the Ruby weapon's path back to the occupied territory of Werlight, which appears to be where it was built.
Where exactly is Werlight? Werlight, or how you pronounce it? My grasp on geography is surprisingly poor. Care to enlighten me? Yeah.
While Alamigo is placed on the western edge of Gimlight, Werlight lies on the opposite side, to the east. It was once a proud and prosperous city, until it was brought to its knees by the Imperial invaders.
You seem rather well informed. Perhaps I should have taken you with me.
Humph. I thought that much was common knowledge.
It is also where Alphonse and the others were born. And now, the weapon project has brought them home. Yes, the place is now rife with Imperials. They have established an airship supply depot in the coastal town of Turncliffe. According to the locals, something resembling one of the weapons was transported there a few days ago. This bodes ill indeed, Were it possible, I would attempt to capture Alphonse and his followers before they can launch an offensive. However, the distance between here and Turncliffe presents a considerable obstacle, and in all likelihood, their weapon will be ready long before we arrive. Approaching by sea would allow us to save time by circumventing their ground-based troops, provided we were able to secure a vessel. Or you could use the Enterprise and take the most direct route of all, as the crow flies. In fact, this is the perfect chance to put my top-secret plan into action. And might I ask what that entails?
Oh, I also kind of want to know that.
It wouldn't be much of a secret if I told you, now would it? What I can say is there's a starring role planned for you, Shauna. Why so surprised? You didn't think I'd let you get off that easily, did you? It'll be here soon, so don't go anywhere.
Hold on, I'm just going to put a message that I just need to look at here. Basically just got a message regarding the school that I'm starting at. I basically need to like use a password and username that they have given me to like log into some system in order to find out this is just a bunch of information, but I can't log in until like 48 hours has passed or something like that.
I see Sid still delights in keeping others in suspense. I can only hope he does not make us wait over long.
Okay. Let's do this. Solo duty. What is that? What the fuck?
Here it is, Shauna. I present Garland Ironworks adaptation of the Ultima Warrior, the Warrior.
The G-Warrior. What?
I know Allegan design when I see it. Excavated from one of their ruins, no doubt. Oz's Law, to be precise. We came across it during the course of our investigations and decided it would be a shame to let it go to waste. And you will be taking this refitted relic to face the enemy head-on, yes. Perhaps my knowledge of the Ultima weapon will be of use. I'm counting on it, as it happens. But first, we'll need to perform a test run in the simulator before throwing you into battle. Come, we haven't much time.
Okay, so what? Are we using that one or are we fighting it?
Let's begin
What?
the warrior training simulation. I've prepared 3 trials to teach you the basics. First, I want you to try attacking the guidance system. Don't worry, it won't fight back. The warrior is armed with a range of weaponry. Now's your chance to learn what it's capable of.
Okay, let me just quickly check here. We have Aether Cannon, Instant Cast, we have Final Flourish combo. Okay. Ultimate Burst. That is AoE. In front of me. That's also AoE. It increases damage taken by enemies by 4 damage for 6 seconds. It restores health. Reduces recast time. All things. And this also makes HPS get drained. And then we have this one. EPS drained, but you take less damage. Let's see. Trying to figure out how to best set this up. This. Use that, it seems.
So far, so good. Let's move on to something a bit more advanced, shall we? The warrior also comes equipped with the Pyretic Booster, which diverts even more power to its weapons and increases its speed and maneuverability. This, however, comes at a price. Activating it places a huge strain on the warrior, so it must only be used in short bursts. That's why it's best to practice here before heading into battle. Now, try activating the Pyretic Booster. You'll notice that your movement speed is much improved. But as shown on your monitor, the warrior becomes more and more structurally unstable as time passes. To deactivate the Pyretic Booster, press the same button again. Auto restoration can mitigate a certain amount of damage incurred, but don't rely on it to carry you through the battle. Now to try using the Pyretic Booster to destroy the target. This time, the node will launch wide-reaching attacks in quick succession. But with your increased movement speed, you should have no trouble evading them.
Range. Oh, that actually makes me charge in when I use it the first time.
Excellent work, Shauna. You'd best deactivate the Pyretic Booster while I explain the final trial. We've covered offense, now to look at defense. This is where the Ethereal Aegis should come in handy. Unfortunately, you can't keep the barrier up indefinitely as it will drain the warrior's power reserves. You might even run out of energy for the weapons, so watch out. First, let's try deploying the Ethereal Aegis. The monitor shows how much power is being drained. Don't let it get too low. That's enough for now. Turn off the barrier using the same button used to deploy it. For the last trial, we'll use the ethereal aegis while attempting to destroy the target. Unlike before, there is no way to escape its attacks, so you'll need to weather them using the barrier.
As well just use both the buffs at the same time. Damage saving and increased damage still.
You're a natural. Alright, that's everything. Time to end the simulation.
Legit did not expect us to get a fucking mech during this. I did not know that that was a thing.
Are you sufficiently prepared?
I guess.
Then we shall depart for Turncliffe at once. It seems they were expecting us. But who is the pilot? Shauna, we're almost there. You'd better have your wits about you.
Okay. Initiate combat mode. I have control. G, warrior, do the thing. Initiate combat mode.
Now, get ready to strike.
Is it too late to back out? It's time to fry this overgrown squid. G-Warrior, engage.
That sounds awfully familiar.
And there's the how does the beat sound or music I told about earlier. Mark 4 anti-icon war machine, the Sapphire Whip.
I can't afford to lose. It's all or nothing. Activating Oversoul.
Oh.
Hydra's combat sample ready. Initiating organic core override.
No, I can't hold on.
I will be monitoring the situation from the air. Follow my instructions and eliminate the target.
Okay. And of course the sets are full of this. all at 1 over, so it's slightly easier for them to click on.
Well, it seems the savages have been busy. I shall enjoy breaking their new toy. It must have absorbed an aquatic icon. Be sure to use the pyretic booster and ethereal aegis. My likeness reborn in cerulean flames. Is that Ultima? Use the ethereal aegis. It's submerged, but not for long. Watch for signs of movement.
Guessing it's side rays. Okay, that was...
It's preparing to strike. Quickly, deploy the aegis. The turrets are preparing to self-destruct. Destroy them with the Ultima Buster. Activate the Pyretic Booster and keep moving.
Keep sending here, and just out, hopefully. Nope. Quite in time. Just Ultima. More turrets. There it is. Ray, I'm guessing I can probably stand on this side and just tank. Okay, they're all facing inward. Oh, yes.
Your wild flailing shall avail you not. Destroy the ceruleum servants, then focus your attacks on the sapphire weapon. You mustn't let it launch its next attack. The ceruleum servants are protecting the weapon. Ignore the turrets for now and destroy the servants. The turrets can wait. You must eliminate the ceruleum servants first. It's the only way.
I know. So keep this up. Perhaps. Oh, why? Let's just do as much damage as we can.
I tire of these games. Now to send you to a watery grave.
There we go.
The target has been silenced.
The damned squid never stood a chance. Understood.
Now that the immediate threat has been dealt with, we should gather what information we can in Turncliffe.
Oh. So this is the place that I was thinking of. Cliff. Here we got some Resistance Fighters, Lowly Widow. Only Widow. That's what it was. And then we got a person that I am semi-interested in. Here. It's a former Imperial. Who I'm just gonna quickly look up here. What card is it that he has? Let's see here. It's introduced. There he is. He only has one card. Sapphire Weapon. You can basically save him for later, I guess. Just talk to Gaius. But I assume we can go back here at least later on.
You did well to pilot the warrior so adeptly in so short a time. And with the weapon largely intact, Sid and his researchers should be able to gather a wealth of valuable information. Before it is dismantled, perhaps we should take one last look upon our fallen foe.
The pilot survived, though. That's what I'm curious about. Something gonna happen. Or yes, that is something that happens. Echo.
We should have known Father and his friends would track us down sooner or later. Now, they're at our doorstep, and the sapphire weapon still isn't ready? Even so, it should still be able to fend them off, or at least buy us some time. Not quite how I'd imagined it, but this seems as good a way to die as any. Rex, Rickon. Why are you still here? You're supposed to be moving the other weapons to a safe location. You can take care of that, while I pilot the sapphire weapon.
Okay, so he's the one who took that plate, I guess.
What are you talking about? I'm the pilot, not you. There's no need to put your life on the line. Besides, it's still incomplete. It can barely perform basic maneuvers, so it'll be practically useless in a real fight.
I would say that.
We have a solution, Oversoul. You want to end up like Melisandre? No, of course not. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But she didn't give her life in vain. The ruby weapon left behind data that's been used to improve the system, to prevent any further malfunctions. What difference does that make? Once Oversoul is activated and the pilot fuses with the core, there's no way back. That's why I should be the one to pilot the sapphire weapon, not you, Rex. Alphonse needs you. You and I both know I'm the least qualified pilot we have. There's less to lose if I don't make it back. No. I won't let you. Please, Rex. Hear me out. Ever since we were children, I was the smallest, the weakest, too afraid to stand up for myself. But I had the best brothers and sisters a boy could wish for. You were always there for me, protected me. Now, it's my turn to protect you. Take the other weapons and get out of here. See this through to the end. Do it for me. For Melisandre. I'm counting on you, Rex. You always did have a stubborn streak. All right, Rickon. I won't let you down. Just promise you'll wait for me, on the other side. We'll meet again, brother. You all made me happier than I had any right to be. And now, I've finally found my purpose. I have no regrets. Come on, Sapphire. We may be far from perfect, but we have a job to do. Let's give Father something to remember us by. The echo, I presume. What did it reveal to you? Rickon. My poor boy. You were braver than most could ever hope to be. It's as we feared. I'm sorry, Gaius. First Melisandre, now Rickon. We must find the remaining weapons and end this madness.
And there's a lot of cutscenes in this one.
Tell me, what do you make of Gaius Balsar? I understand the two of you have been acquainted since his days as the Black Wolf. He claims to have shed his pelt when he took up the hunt for Ascians, but he's still the same man deep down. He certainly kept quiet about having a flock of foster children back in the Empire, though. It seems he would rather bare his teeth to his former masters than allow harm to come to them. Yet try as I might, I cannot make sense of it. Does he truly fight for the good of mankind, as he would have us all believe, or is he merely biding his time before he reveals his true colors? Whatever the answer may be, in the end he will always be a Garlean. And though there may be honorable men and women among them, I have suffered much and more as a result of their conquests. Barbaric campaigns in which Gaius Balsar played no small part. My first encounter with the Garleans was 20 years ago, shortly after the fall of Alamigo. They continued their march into the lands that had long been home to we Duskwights. We sought to repel the invaders, but we were woefully unprepared. Our bows and arrows were no match for their Mahitake, and even our most powerful magics did little to slow their advance. I fought on the front line, but was knocked unconscious in the opening exchange. When I came to, I was alone, the rest of my unit slaughtered. I hurried back to my village to look for my wife and daughter, only to find the place deserted. My search lasted for days, then weeks, then months, and it seemed they had disappeared without a trace. I finally learned from two Imperials held at Bittermill that the villagers had been captured and used as test subjects for the poison gas that would later be known as Black Rose. They were never seen again. For 20 long years I roamed aimlessly, with nothing but hatred to keep me alive. I eventually found myself at the Order of the Twin Adder, who offered me a place among their ranks. The desire for revenge was the only thing I had left, so without a moment's hesitation, I accepted. Were it not for the war with Garlemald, I would have been loath to work alongside the city-dwelling Gridanians who for so long had treated my kind as outcasts. But none of that mattered anymore. It all culminated with Operation Archon. As you led the charge into the Praetorium, we were right behind you. And when the place came crumbling down, most of us were caught in the rubble. I escaped with my life, though many others were less fortunate. Having dragged myself free from the rubble, I sought a way out. It was then that I encountered none other than Gaius Balsar, on the verge of death. The gods had delivered to me the man whose conquests had robbed me of everything. I was poised, ready to exact my revenge. And then, he spoke. I will not beg for mercy. I only ask that you stay your hand a while longer. I cannot die until I have rid the world of the Ascian menace. For millennia, mankind has danced to their tune. But no more. Then, once we are finally free, my life is yours for the taking. I would have struck him down there and then had I not sensed truth in his words. So, I decided to grant him a stay of execution and join him on his hunt. All this time, I've kept a close eye on Gaius. Though he is ever on the watch for pursuers, he has granted me ample opportunity to slay him if I so choose. And I still might, if he shows even the slightest sign of betraying our agreement. But for now, the Ascians are my chosen quarry. If they are indeed the ones pulling the Empire's strings, then it shall not end until they have been eradicated, every last one. Though I could not save my kin, there are those who may yet be spared the horrors of war. Unfortunately, dealing with the Ascians will have to wait until we have brought an end to Garlemald's weapon project. Though we may have vanquished 2 of the new weapons, we must make every effort to prepare for whatever the Garleans throw at us next. Perhaps Severa can tell us whether the Ironworks engineers have uncovered any information of note?
Go and speak with Severa.
The Ironworks engineers are still at work dismantling the Sapphire weapon and investigating the Turncliffe Mahitake facility. Though they have yet to make their report, they may have some news to share at this juncture. Please, wait here a moment.
We've yet to finish our investigation, but I can give you a preliminary report. Were you able to recover anything of note? Before abandoning the facility, they'd attempted to destroy anything they couldn't take with them, including many of their research materials. Luckily, some information relating to the Sapphire weapon's combat data was intact. Judging by what we saw during the battle, it was extracted from Regula Van Hydros, correct? It also appears that the Sapphire weapon was actually in an incomplete state, and therefore unable to perform at full capacity. Even so, it was immensely powerful. Had they been given the chance to finish it before we'd arrived, who knows how it would have ended. Indeed. We may not be so fortunate next time, so we must prepare for the worst. The Ironworks will continue to investigate the Sapphire weapon and look into possible countermeasures. The Echo afforded you a glimpse into the conversation between Rickon and Rex prior to the weapon's deployment. Do you remember any other details? Improvements were made to the synthetic orocyte system to prevent malfunctions. Then it was never their intent to create a manifestation of Nail Van Darnus. But there's one thing that was intended. Oversoul. Its activation results in the pilot being absorbed by the core, killing them in the process. Rex and Rickon were fully aware of this, were they not? Then the death of the pilot was by design all along. Alphonse, how could you? Sacrificing your own siblings to fuel these accursed war machines.
Surely, there is no cause worth paying such a price.
Nothing is more precious than family. This nightmare is far from over. It appears that Rex has fled with the remaining weapons, and we can assume that Alphonse has every intention of sending them into battle. We must find a way to disable them before Oversoul can be activated. I have seen enough death. I do not wish to see any more. Then there is no time to waste. Let's be about it, Gaius. Severa, you're in charge here. Keep Sid and his team safe while they carry out the investigation.
Understood. Please see that no harm comes to Gaius.
While we're gone, I need you to relay everything to the resistance troops. Your first-hand account should prove useful. If there are any developments, we'll be sure to contact you.
Okay. So get back to the Porta place.
Ready to return.
Irabania. Back down to this person.
Welcome back. It sounds like you've been on quite the journey. All the way to Turncliffe. And judging by the fact you made it here in one piece, I trust everything went according to plan? What an astonishing account. I wouldn't mind putting that warrior through its paces myself. Certainly a lot more stimulating than supervising this rabble, I'd imagine. Anyway, as before, I'll compile the information into a report and leave it over there for your perusal, should you feel so inclined. If we hear anything from headquarters, we'll be sure to pass it on.
We get the Sapphire weapon bust. Another cutscene. Meanwhile, in the 7th? Do this.
I have come to deliver my report, Lord Valens.
He just straight up animated the sweat on him.
Ah, so you have returned, young Alfred? Or was it Alwick? Not that it really matters, of course. I hear that you and your darling brothers and sisters have allowed the sapphire weapon to fall into the hands of the enemy. Do tell me it isn't so. I am afraid that is the case, Lord Valens. Oh, come now. No need to be so sullen. As they say, to err is human, to forgive, divine. And you know how forgiving I can be. When it suits me. So, tell me, whatever your name is, who was able to best the sapphire weapon? Our sources state that the one known as the Warrior of Light was assisted by Sid Garland and Gaius van Baelsar, my lord. Gaius. Yes, it seems he's been quite the troublemaker of late. Defecting from Garlemald, assassinating the Emperor. Whatever next? Oh well, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Speaking of which, I've become quite the connoisseur since arriving in Werlight. This particular variety comes from a rare breed of cow, you know. Only 100 of them in existence and pampered every day of their lives. Yes, they are quite valuable. Until their milk dries up, that is. When it does, they are sent to the slaughterhouse like all the rest. For that is their lot in life. To be discarded once they have served their purpose. Did I create the ruby and sapphire weapons so that you could deliver them gift-wrapped to the enemy? I can see it now, Sidnan Garland rubbing his hands with glee at all the technological marvels we've bestowed upon him. And you let Gaius van Baelsar of all people get the better of you. How do you think this reflects on me? The legatus of the VIth Legion humiliated by that traitor? Humiliated, I say. There's only one way to deal with worthless provincial filth like you. Wait for me in the correction chamber. You need to be taught a lesson in obedience. Yes, my lord. Forgive my intrusion, Lord Valens, but it's time for your meeting with the head of Mahitake Development. Oh, how time flies when you're whipping useless soldiers into shape. Yes, I'll be along once I've made myself presentable. Can't have people thinking I've let my standards slip, now can I?
Those 3 kids just standing there, I wonder. Guess maybe they need to help him put on the armor.
What are you doing here?
You wish to see me, Lord Valens?
Did I now? Ah yes, that's right. So, you're ally, yes. And you joined the military of your own free will along with your fellow orphans. Such devotion. What an inspiration you are. You see, it is my firm belief that love grants us the power to move mountains, to overcome any obstacle. Together, we shall discover the strength that lies within you. Take my hand, child. I will show you the way.
Gotta assume that we are probably gonna kick his ass at some point during this quest line. Okay, lot of emerald.
Ah, it's good to see you, Shauna. I'm pleased to report that Master Garland and the others uncovered a fair bit of useful information at the Imperial facility in Turncliffe. In fact, he'd like you to rendezvous with Gaius in the town square, where he'll reveal what they've found. Once you're ready to depart, your escort will lead the way.
Okay. Escort.
All set for the journey. Now that you are here, perhaps Sid will finally deign to dispense his findings. Severa, inform him of Shauna's arrival. Thanks for coming. So, what have you discovered? To tell the truth, we were lucky to obtain any information at all, considering the lengths to which the Imperials went in covering their tracks. You see, the hangar below was not just used to store the weapons, but played a critical role in their creation. We now know the code names given to 3 of the weapons: Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Obviously, we are all familiar with the first 2, but the third is something of an unknown quantity.
At the very least, this confirms the existence of another of those abominations.
At the very least. What are we waiting for? Let's go after it. At the very least.
The problem lies in ascertaining its whereabouts. None of the locals have seen anything resembling a weapon being transported either by land or air. Which of course leaves only one option, the sea. According to what fragmented data we were able to recover, the Emerald weapon is equipped with aquatic capabilities, much like the Sapphire. Meaning that its escape from Turncliffe would have gone undetected, and could potentially be anywhere by now. But if Alphonse plans to have it absorb more primals, the logical choice would be Eorzea.
And traveling by sea would allow him to circumvent the front line at Gimlight entirely. The Alliance must be alerted at once.
Nice enough. Anything? Let's go check. That's enabled. Watch your chocobos. Severa. Seems that the Emerald weapon was still incomplete when the 7th Legion withdrew from Turncliffe. Just
It's far more likely that it was transported to another facility in order to add the finishing touches. If your supposition is correct, that would narrow our search to but 2 possible locations: Castrum Marinum in the Rodano Sea and Castrum Occidens in eastern La Nosha. Both of which are known to harbor remnants of the XIV Legion, your former subordinates, Gaius. Be that as it may, our objective is unchanged. Valdolan, you and Severa will make your way to Castrum Occidens while Shauna and I head for Castrum Marinum.
Should we locate the Emerald weapon, we will give the signal to dispatch the warrior and eliminate it before it can be activated.
Sorry to disappoint you, but we're still repairing the damage it sustained during the encounter with the Sapphire weapon. While Allagan machinery has its uses, it's a bugger to find replacement parts in a pinch. We've actually been working to expand its already impressive arsenal, but the warrior itself is in no fit state for combat. While I'm aware this is a far from adequate replacement, I can provide an ironworks submersible to help Shauna and Gaius reach Castrum Marinum. I'll have one sent ahead to Vesper Bay.
Okay.
A submersible, eh? I don't much like the sound of that. Perhaps Severa and I should count ourselves fortunate that our destination can be approached by land. I pray you have a safe journey. Watch yourself out there, Shauna. It is time we departed. Let us make our way to Vesper Bay.
Okay. So, do I need to go to Vesper Bay specifically, or is it just going to take me there? It takes me there. Nice. Saves me the trouble of going to Rise and then flying over here.
As per Master Garland's instructions, the submersible is ready when you are. But before you depart, I've received some scraps of intelligence regarding your opponent from my colleagues in Turncliffe. Apparently, it uses some sort of levitating, hand-like appendages, 6 of them, in fact, though we're not quite sure what purpose they serve. It sounds like having eyes in the back of your head might come in handy. But that's all we know, I'm afraid. You have our thanks. After all, forewarned is forearmed. If the emerald weapon has indeed been transported to this castrum, it would need to enter via the dry dock. We shall do likewise. As one might expect, there are measures in place to keep out intruders, but the security systems can be tricked into recognizing us as an Imperial vessel. That said, infiltrating the facility is merely the first step. Should the emerald weapon be activated, it is only a matter of time before the pilot uses Oversoul. We must silence the War Machina before this happens, and failing that, grant the poor soul at its helm the mercy of a swift death. Had these wounds healed more quickly, I could have gone with you, but I fear I would only slow you down. As such, I shall provide what support I can from afar. Whatever happens, the emerald weapon must be defeated at all costs.
Castrum Marinum. Accessible? Okay. Just gonna go off of that. Wait time 8 minutes. Okay. I think Castrum Marinum. Yep, that's the thing out there. Wonder, is there perhaps any quests here that unlock a triple triad opponent for me? As far as I can see, that would be a no. It doesn't show anyone all in Thanalan though. Trying to search. it wants to. Okay. Alright, so there is one opponent in Western Thanaland, but I've already defeated him. Seems. I've already gotten all the ones in Thanaland. Basically, I think I might as well just, if there are any quests that I'm going to do that would unlock triple triad matches, could quickly do those. I'll wait. There is one in the fringes, which only has 2 steps. Let's see here. It is located at 28 and 19. So up there, so Iron Stones. It does say now that the average wait time is less than 5 minutes, but still can't be that. I'm basically thinking if the queue ends up popping before we finish this quest, we'll just finish the quest afterward. Unless the game, of course, teleports us, but hopefully it doesn't do that. Let's see, the quest is delicate as a flower.
Just the one I was hoping to see. We are in dire need of a special flower, the Dreaming Iris, but the Kaliana have been hoarding them from the nearby fields with reckless abandonment. They grow untouched in the vest along the Velodina River, but we dare not go there. If the Kaliana follow us, it could prove trouble for the Striders of Castrum Orines. With that we could wait for them to blossom anew, but I fear that will take time we cannot afford. If you can find even 5 irises, that is all we require.
Okay. So just teleport over here and grab those 5 Dream Irises. Usually completing this quest is just gonna unlock a triple triad match, and we got the queue already. It'd be interesting to see if we actually get teleported to the like trial entrance once we finish this, or if we just get put back where we were. From Merida.
This is it.
Just
the emerald weapon. I've been expecting you, hero of Eorzea. Look, Father. This is the power that we command.
Mark 5 Anti-Icon War Machine, the Emerald Weapon.
Rex. There is no need for us to fight. Let us help you. I'm sorry, Father. We've come too far to back down now.
Don't have my joke or carbon. Why do I not have my carbon? Okay, that's a rotating AoE, and it also...
Is he planning to bring down the whole castrum?
That's a pretty cool one, I gotta say. And the arena seems to have gotten a little bit smaller. got some mines. Oh, and they apparently had some polarity on them. Split. Okay. I'm sure that's a knockback. Yep. An emerald beam. Really do any damage right now because I only have casting spells. Take magnetism. Okay, so there's the bombs. Standing here, I guess. You say just those two bombs will basically just push each other, away from each other. Again.
I know that formation. It was used in Warlight all those years ago.
Just make sure that I dodge those balls as they go this way. And we lost the tank. Okay, some more mines slash bombs. Okay, it's not dead yet.
So it's come to this. But no matter what, I can't afford to lose. Not even you can beat the Empire's finest. Activating Oversoul. Balsar combat data ready. Initiating organic core override.
Oh.
Ali, Alphonse. This is goodbye.
It's data
Rex.
from Gaius.
What have you done? What is the meaning of this? Wait, that glow. Bear witness to the glory of the Empire.
Okay.
This is Warlight, at the time of the invasion. Could the synthetic orosite be causing this?
Okay.
The end has come.
Okay, some people have those slashes, which I'm guessing are gonna knock them back a bit as well. We need to dodge the freeze up. Guessing that is gonna. Oh, yep. Okay, only got hit by one thing there. Those are gonna go up in certain order.
Prepare to advance. Forward. Form ranks. Fire. Form ranks. Fire.
Don't have a lot of time for that one. Okay. It's back. Okay, overcoming the that thing apparently deals a lot of damage. The emerald weapon, it seems. Okay, and beat it. Nice. And we're inside the base now.
And so it ends. But why would Rex throw away his life for this?
Huh, there's the guy we were in.
You are
group
right.
with.
If I am ever to learn the truth, I must concentrate on the task at hand. Of course, we do not need to wait for Sid's analysis to tell us whose combat data was used on this occasion. It galls me to think that my techniques and strategies could be so closely replicated. Nevertheless, the observations I made during the battle may yet prove useful. As a matter of fact, that was not the only information I was able to gather. I intercepted a signal that revealed the troops stationed here were permitted to withdraw, seemingly in return for assisting the XIV Legion. They must have known that the Alliance would follow the Emerald weapon here sooner or later and made good their escape. Meaning the way is now clear for Sid to inspect the War Machina's remains. We got here as soon as we could. Not that we could have done anything to prevent this tragedy. From what we know, it seems that the Emerald weapon was ILM for ILM a great deal more powerful than the previous two. If this is allowed to continue, who knows what sort of monstrosity the XIV Legion will conceive next. Nevertheless, Shauna has once again proven herself capable of overcoming the worst the Empire has at its disposal. You may be relieved to hear that Castrum Occidens was free of anything resembling a weapon. Unfortunately, it was also devoid of any useful leads, and we came away empty-handed. In all honesty, part of me wishes we had never found the emerald weapon. Perhaps then, Rex would not have been forced to make the ultimate sacrifice. I only...
Oops. Accidentally skipped there.
We will do what we can to spare others from sharing his fate. I and the Ironworks will search this place from top to bottom for clues as to the VIth Legion's plans.
Before that, allow me to sweep the area for booby traps and the like. I would not put it past the Imperials to have left a few surprises for us.
Agreed. I'll go with you. With that in mind, I'll begin my examination of the emerald weapon. Carefully, that is.
And another echo.
Alphonse. You knew all this time, didn't you? Melisandre and Rickon, too. Everyone except me. And you, Rex?
Yes. That's what the synthetic Orosite system is. The fusion between pilot and core is the key to Oversoul.
Your cooking skill surprises you, but your skill to check the expiration date is even worse. Did you accidentally eat something, or were you about to use something that like had expired?
And unless we use it, we don't have a chance of beating Father's newfound friends. They stand between us and the primals, without which the weapons will never reach their full potential. We thought that if you knew the truth about Oversoul, you'd try to stop us.
Of course I would. But what I don't understand is why all of you are so willing to give your lives for the weapon project. What is it all for?
It all began the day Father left. Without his guidance, his protection, the Garleans lost any respect they once had for us.
You cooked it and everything, and just looked at the package and was like, oh, yeah, I kind of did that as well as a while ago back at my parents' place, because I basically had to like look after their house and their dog, and I was basically making some chicken carne, and then after I had basically made the dinner, I basically ended up looking at some of the cans of beans that they had out there that I'd used, and saw that, oh yeah, this is apparently like several months old. So that was like should maybe not have used that. Yep, they have a dog. I guess you can technically say that it's to an extent also mine, but yeah. You order a pizza so you can even have it tomorrow. Fair. I would probably also just be like, yeah, if I would say it kind of depends on what it is you have put in, because if it's just like your spices, like I don't know, like dried spices that you might have, I would say you can maybe still eat it. But if it's like, oh yeah, I use some ground beef, for example, and that it has expired, then it's like, yeah, maybe not. That would not be the smartest idea, I think. Also, I just remembered when you mentioned the food thing that I had said that I would send you a recipe that I mentioned the other day on stream. Just kind of forgot about it. And I just actually checked that that I actually have the recipe saved on my phone as like a picture, so I can actually send it basically right now, which is currently what I'm trying to do. You have a really weird stomach. Rather not do stuff than rather do stuff than sitting on the little house. I'll be myself as well. Yeah, I'll go ahead and quickly send that to you on Discord if I can find it. I just need to like scroll through so many fucking pictures. Don't ruin the flow. I mean, I'm just doing it on my phone. I can just keep the cutscenes going at the same time.
But their cruelty pales in comparison to Valen's. To him, conscripts like us are expendable commodities, an endless supply of test subjects for his twisted experiments. But no matter what they do to us, we will never lose hope. If it is the duty of the strong to lead the weak, we will become strong and protect those who cannot protect themselves.
I've sent the recipe to you on Discord in a private message. Hopefully hopefully you can read what it says. That's basically the recipe that I had for that Spell Otto, or whatever you want to call it. That I mentioned here, I think was Friday or Saturday during the stream. I don't really remember.
The weapon project will give us the strength we need. We will create a world where people like us can live without fear of persecution. We want you to see this new world for yourself, Ali. Even if we must give our lives to make it a reality.
But, why me?
The years spent serving the Empire have changed us all, except you, Ali. Even after everything you've seen, you're still the caring, innocent girl we grew up with. More than any of us, you deserve a chance at happiness. That's what we all agreed. Ali, listen to me. Right now, the soldiers assigned to watch over us have been called away to the capital. Now is our chance to get you out of here.
Then why don't you come with me?
If Alphonse and I were to run away now, they'd only force others to take our place. We can't let that happen. This is our way of upholding the ideals Father instilled in us. Our lives are a small price to pay for Werlight's freedom.
No. How can you expect me to leave you behind? I won't do it.
We will forever be at your side, Ali. Rex, take her to the holding cells.
No. Let me go.
So win or lose, the plan is to hand over the castrum to Father, is that right? Yes. They'll take Ali into their custody before the Garleans return, while you will be free to pilot the emerald weapon without her interfering. We can't let her hinder the completion of the weapon project. I'm counting on you, Alphonse. Don't let our sacrifices be in vain. Rex, have you forgotten what I told you? You mustn't use Oversoul. I can't lose you too. We both know I can't win without it. Besides, we need the combat data of the emerald weapon fighting at its peak if we're to have any chance of perfecting the synthetic orosite system. You know I'm not the sort to do things by halves. Forgive me, Rex. Don't you worry about me. If this is where I meet my end, I'll do it with a smile on my face. The rest is up to you, Alphonse.
This is the girl you spoke of, yes? She was locked in a cell, but I saw no harm in letting her out. I can't say for certain, but it seems she's been through quite an ordeal. No. Why, Rex? Why?
Gaius, once we've extracted the core, we'll take it back to Turncliffe for analysis. Perhaps she should come with us? There's no use in her staying here.
Poor girl. Slowly, basically losing her family. Okay, we're just sitting back here. Okay.
Severa is taking care of Ali, but it may be some time until her nerves have settled. If the vision you witnessed is indeed true, Alphonse and Rex locked her away for her own safety. When she is ready, I would know more of what her brother hopes to achieve and why he must resort to such desperate measures.
Ali's condition has improved somewhat, but she remains in a state of shock. We must give her more time to recover. There was one other thing that I thought you should know. When we checked her for injuries, we saw that her back is covered in welts and bruises.
Who did this to her?
It seems she was subjected to beatings on a regular basis, judging by the varied stages of bruising. I dare say this was the work of her Garlean masters.
You speak as though you have seen this before.
Seen? I have lived through it myself. I was born in Warlight, 23 summers past. My mother was a local woman, but my father was a pure-blooded Garlean and a member of the occupying forces. Though I know very little about him, his rank afforded me imperial citizenship. His acknowledgement of our familial ties was the extent of the responsibility he took for bringing me into this world. Still, it is more than can be said for most of his ilk. My mother and I were shunned by the people of Warlight, who treated us as badly as the Garleans did, if not worse. I thought that if I were to become an imperial soldier, my position might somehow deter those who would cast scorn on my mother, if only out of fear. And so I joined the army. The acceptance I earned was but temporary, however, and my superiors were quick to blame any perceived shortcomings on my savage lineage. Rather than waste time on official court-martials, they administered their own form of corporal punishment. I was eventually assigned to the 12th Legion and fought under Xenosier Galvus in Alamigo. In the chaos that followed our defeat, I seized the opportunity to flee to Warlight. While it was never much of a home, it was all I had. But nothing could prepare me for what awaited. My mother had for many years suffered from poor health and relied on medicine to keep her alive. In my absence, the Garleans had denied her treatment, claiming that it would be wasted on savages. By the time I could return to her side, there was naught I could do. There was nothing left for me in Warlight. I would be punished for desertion if the Imperials discovered the reason for my return, and I was never accepted by my called countrymen to begin with. I ran as far as my legs could carry me. It was then that I met Gaius.
So that is the truth of it? Other than a few scant details, I knew naught of your past. It sickens me to think that I once fought under the same banner as such vile creatures. I had always believed it to be the duty of the strong to lead the weak. Yet there are those who become drunk on the power afforded by their station, and prey on the ones they should protect. Like a canker, this corruption has spread to every part of the empire.
Even those with Garlean blood, such as myself, are subjected to their cruelty. They hold particular contempt for the ORA, an easy target for abuse being so few in number. Perhaps, like me, Ali thought she would be spared such treatment once she joined the army. Alas. I only hope that with time, Ali can put the past behind her and make a new life for herself. But for now, all we can do is wait for her delirium to subside. It is Valdalin's turn to keep watch. Let us ask him if there has been any change.
I suppose you're here to ask about Ali. Is she well enough to speak with us? As her condition has improved somewhat, I would say so, provided you do not cause her any undue distress. Wait here. Ali. I am sorry. What happened to Rex, it was my fault. Melisandre, Enrican, too. They died because of me and my foolish ambitions.
Father, no.
This cannot go on. Please, Ali. You must tell me all you know.
Of course.
First, I need to know what became of you and your siblings after we were parted.
So much has happened, it seems like a lifetime ago. After your disappearance, we were all assigned to the newly reformed XIV Legion. At first, each legatus was quickly replaced by the next, until eventually, a man named Valens van Vero was given command. He was sent from the capital, but before that, he was a specialist in experimental Mehitake weaponry. We later discovered that he was ordered by Emperor Varus to complete a project involving anti-primal war machina, the weapons. But after the Emperor's death, he was free to employ whatever methods he saw fit, and his greed for power only grew. Some even say he is planning to use the power of the weapons to lay claim to the throne. But I think there's another reason for his obsession with the weapon project. Not that he'd ever tell anyone, but he's always muttering to himself, and I've been able to put the pieces together. He's jealous of you, Father.
Valens van Vero. I must admit, it was only recently that I first heard that name.
Valens used his knowledge of Mehitake to devise various military strategies. He was given a position in the army and quickly rose through the ranks. That was until one man stood in his way, you, Father. He was one of the candidates to lead the new XIVTH Legion, but that role fell to you. After that, he was assigned to serve under a far more gifted engineer, Nero, who was in charge of restoring the Ultima weapon. Valens has resented you ever since, going so far as to oppose the ideals you upheld. Where you treated those who serve the Empire based on merit rather than on their race or origin, Valens is adamant that pure-blooded Garleans are superior to all others. It never ceases to amaze me how far some will go in the name of revenge. All that hatred, festering away. Nothing good could ever come of it.
So the marks on your body are his handiwork?
Yes. To Valens and his men, we are no more than fodder for his experiments, playthings on which they can vent their frustrations. Every day is filled with nothing but pain.
If I had remained in Garlemald, you would never have been forced to endure this abuse.
It's not your fault, Father. We could have fled from Valens if we'd wanted to. After all, we're expendable and easily replaced. The truth is, that's exactly why we couldn't run. In saving ourselves, we would be condemning others. But if we were to stay, to see the weapon project to its completion, we would gain the power to defeat Valens, and then the Empire itself, freeing the world from its tyranny. That way, we might start afresh, and find a place we can call home. And not just for us, but for anyone who wishes to live in peace.
You would give your lives for a future you may not live to see.
We took courage from your teachings, Father. The strong must lead the weak, and we would gain that strength by whatever means necessary. We will fight for the sake of those who cannot. But we knew that you'd never consent to our participation in the weapon project, which is why we couldn't turn to you for help. As the pilots, we're the only ones who are able to stop Valens. We know just how powerful the weapons are. He would use them to bring the world to its knees. And his masterpiece is the worst of them all. If only I could get my hands on it. Then I could save Alphonse and all of Warlight. Father, I know you and Alphonse stand on opposing sides of this conflict, but there must be some way you can help him. He may have called you our enemy before, but he never meant it. He still loves you, Father. You are everything he aspires to be.
I have failed him. Failed you all. But I refuse to abandon him to his fate. I will free him from Valens, if it is the last thing I do.
Thank you. He needs you. Now more than ever.
Listen, Ali. I once sought the strength to rebuild the world as I saw fit. But the Ultima weapon was born not to create, but to destroy. Alphonse must not follow in my footsteps. I know all too well where they lead. I will do all I can to help your brother. Pray, tell me where he is.
He's... I'm sorry. I don't know where he could be.
In that case, I shall have the Alliance dispatch scouts. Wherever he is, we will find him. As for you, Ali, you must stay here and rest.
Wait. You're the one who fought Rex, Rickon, and Melisandre, aren't you? We're the ones who threatened your homeland. You only did what you had to do. I have no right to ask this of you, but... lend my father your strength. Save Alphonse. I know now why they call you hero. Alphonse, I'll do what I must to free you, even if it means going against father's wishes. But I have a good feeling about his new friend.
Severa, see that she has everything she needs. Our allies must be informed of these troubling events. May I ask you to relay this news to the troops in Garabanya?
Sure.
Your loving father act may fool the others, Gaius, but not me. For every life you've saved, you've ended 1,000 more. Or is this your idea of redemption? Call it what you will. For all my transgressions, I believe I still have a part to play. Was I wrong to spare you that day? Or will you honor your word? It seems the time has come for the Black Wolf to show his true colors.
Okay.
Ready to return.
So, over, talk to the Resistance officer.
We recently received word of your victory over the emerald weapon. I expect it was another fine display on your part, not that any of us were there to see it.
Here's actually the next one. The next quest we get is also from patch 5.4. And then the last two are from patch 5.5. We have one more trial left, so we are at around like the 2.5 hour mark. So I'm thinking after we complete this quest and the next one, I'll quickly finish up Delicate as a Flower, maybe another quest if I have time, and then that'll be the end of the stream, I think.
For that reason, we'd be grateful if you could give us a blow-by-blow account, if you wouldn't mind. Good grief, it sounds like you had an awful lot to contend with. Rather you than me. Ahem. I shall add this to our ever-growing stack of reports, should anyone wish to review this information ahead of the next sortie. Now, if I may say so, it looks like your ordeals have taken their toll. We'll let you know if anything requires your attention, but until then, be sure to get some rest.
And cutscene, I'm guessing. Yep. While in the 7th Legion Correction Chamber.
Three weapons. Three pitiful displays of ineptitude. Ah. To make matters worse, one of my prime candidates, your precious sister, no less, has escaped. And who should she go crawling to but that swine Gaius? After everything I've done for her, and this is how she repays me. As her older brother, it's your responsibility to instill some discipline in her, and you failed miserably. Well, don't just stand there, boy. Oh, of course. It's your first time, isn't it? Come along, there's no need to be shy.
You've gone a bit more intense with the facial animations on that.
You see, something wicked has taken hold of this young man, and it's our job to cleanse his troubled spirit. It may look painful, but it's the only way, I assure you. He'll be ever so grateful, and you want him to get better, don't you? There's a good boy. Now, let's try again, shall we? Burn out the bad. 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 Burn out the bad.
God, we get to kill him.
Burn out the bad. 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 Burn out the bat. Gaaik.
God, I hope we fucking get to kill him.
Well done.
What was that sound?
You've all made Father proud. Very proud, indeed. As for you, I thought you were a cut above the rest of the savages, but it appears I was mistaken. And since you allowed that wretched sister of yours to escape, it falls to you to act as her replacement. I choose you as the next pilot, and your mission is simple: kill Gaius van Baelsar, whatever it takes. And if you so much as entertain the idea of betraying me again, I'll exterminate every last one of your kind. Like the vermin they are. Having said that, we will be forcibly initiating Oversoul using Xenos' combat data, so whatever schemes you may be hatching will never come to pass. All you need to do is sit back and let the synthetic Orosite system do the work, with you as its conduit. You should thank me for allowing you to become part of my masterpiece. Your worthless existence will finally have some semblance of meaning. Hee hee hee. Lord Valens, preparations for the Oversoul trial are complete. We await your orders.
Seen this before, been paying for it and was paying for more. Might not be the same context. Yeah.
Splendid. There's never a dull moment around here. Now then, boys. Who'd like to see something special? Come along, everyone. Father has secrets to share with you.
He's gonna do to those kids.
This is my chance. And it's all thanks to the sacrifices made by my dear siblings. Finally, the weapon will be mine to command. Once it has reached perfection, I will be unstoppable. First Valens, then the Empire itself will fall, and we will be free at last. Father, keep Ali safe. Melisandre, Rickon, Rex. I'll see this through to the end. I promise. Until then, watch over me.
Any more things? Yep.
So, is it ready or not? The trial sequence has been primed, sir. Then get on with it. Initiating synthetic orosite system. Loading diamond weapon simulation. What's going on? You're helping us with a little research is all, whatever your name is. The time has come for you to contribute to the glory of Garlemald. This isn't what we agreed. You said that if I took part in the experiment, you'd let my family go. You have Xeno's data loaded, yes. Activate Oversoul, and be quick about it. Understood, Lord Valens. Galvus combat sample ready. Initiating organic core override. Nay. My mind is. No, if this is what it takes to protect you both, I love you. I'm so sorry. Where is my prey? Organic core override complete. Xenosia Galvus data loaded. The subject is instinctively bound to seek out prey, right from the outset. Regardless of the combat prowess it may boast, I need an obedient servant, not a ravenous beast. Enough. Shut it down. Deactivating synthetic orosite system. How revolting. And what a mess it makes of the cockpit. Adjust the settings and prepare for another run. Fortunately, we have the next test subject ready and waiting. But sir, you agreed to release his family in exchange for his cooperation. Ahahaha. Ahahaha hey. My. I never knew you had such a wonderful sense of humor. The great Valens van Vero, bargaining with savages. Ha. More fool him for trusting me in the first place.
We get to kill this fucking asshole. He's a straight up bastard and I just want to get the chance to kill him later in the quest line. Okay. I'm thinking going to do this quest. Maybe. Let's see, it's 4 steps. Yeah, might as well.
Shauna. I was hoping I might have a word with you. Ever since Turncliffe was liberated, we've been sending troops to aid in getting the town back on its feet. Helping the residents, that sort of thing. We Olymigans know how hard life can be for a society struggling to stand on its own after years of imperial rule. A lot of what most people would take for granted has to be rebuilt from the ground up. While we're able to assist when it comes to providing basic resources and keeping the place safe, there are countless other problems that need attending to. If you can spare the time, we could use your help. Bless you, Shauna. You really are a saint. I'm sure the people of Turncliffe will benefit from having someone like you around. Once you're ready, have a word with your usual escort. I wish you all the best.
Okay.
So, the boss.
Yeah. Both strength left. Okay. Let's see. Who do I need to go and talk to now? Search for the despondent civilian.
You're the one who piloted that war machine and defeated the Sapphire weapon, aren't you? I thought so. I have heard much about you, but I doubt you know who I am. My name is Avelina, and I grew up here. I stayed throughout the occupation and was put to work as a Mehatake engineer. Thanks to you and yours, we are now rid of the Imperials, though I fear many of us will struggle to put the past behind us. For 10 long years, we suffered at their hands. A whole generation of young people were forced into the army and sent off to die in some distant land. I suppose I could be considered one of the lucky few. My work here kept me away from the battlefield, and I hoped that my contributions might help the others live long enough to make their way home. In the end, most of them never returned. Though my efforts were in vain, I can at least honor their memory. I want to leave something behind for their sake, to prove that they haven't been forgotten. A monument bearing their names. To ensure that not a single person is omitted, I'd need to see the official list of conscripts. If one still exists, it would be inside the Imperial facility beneath the town, but with the Resistance troops and Ironworks engineers closing the place off, I can't get near it. Perhaps you might have a word with them for me? I'll leave as soon as I find the list. Thank you. I'll follow your lead.
So, go and speak with the burly engineer.
Something I can help you with? I see. It's a bit unusual for one of the locals to show an interest in the Imperial's leavings, but it seems she has her reasons. Since we're still carrying out our investigations, we've closed the place off to prevent anyone interfering. Considering it's you who's asking, though, I can hardly say no. Still, I'd better go with her, in case the others kick up a fuss.
You're very kind. I'm sorry for any trouble I've caused. You have my thanks.
Think nothing of it. I was glad to help.
As I'd suspected, the Imperials kept detailed records of the local conscripts. One name in particular stood out to me. My friend, Melisandre. I had no idea she'd been assigned to the XIV Legion, of all places.
How do you know her? What do you mean, of all places? Know her.
It all began while we were serving together in the XIV Legion. We had much in common, both being drafted from the same occupied territory, and we soon became firm friends. Then one day, she was sent to fight in Eorzea, while I remained here. The day before she left, she came to say goodbye, together with her foster siblings from the orphanage. The youngest one, Rickon, was particularly upset about not being allowed to speak with their adoptive father, Gaius van Baelsar, before they departed. It was actually another of his orphans, Livia Sas Junius, who forbid them from seeing him. I can't say for certain, but it seemed that Livia had a strong attachment to Gaius, and wouldn't let anyone else near him. As far as I could tell, he tried his best to keep Livia at arm's length whenever possible. But her devotion to him was bordering on obsession, and she became extremely jealous at the slightest sign of affection between him and his other wards. Others, however, treated them far more kindly. In fact, a Prefectus Castrorum of the XIV Legion came specifically to meet them. While I was surprised that a Rogadan had risen to such a rank, I was even more taken aback by the unguarded manner in which he spoke with his subordinates. I had hoped that with people like him serving on the Eorzean front, they would be in safe hands. Then, the time came for Melisandre to leave. We shared a few final words, and then she was gone. It would be the last I ever saw of her. After that, I was assigned to the Tribunus Lataclavius of the XIVTH, Nero Tolskava, and I worked on restoring the Ultima weapon. I was even at the Praetorium on the day it was destroyed, but I escaped aboard an Imperial ship moments before it came crashing down. I eventually made my way back to Warlight, only to be drafted into the XIV Legion to continue working on the weapon project. Even now, it makes me sick to my stomach to think I'd helped bring those abominations into the world. Using a living pilot to feed the weapons core was part of the design from the very beginning. Of course, they'd never dream of subjecting a true-born Garlean to such barbaric treatment. Not when the XIV Legion has a ready supply of provincial conscripts ripe for the taking. The pilots were referred to only by their code names, and we engineers were not made privy to their true identities. Even with this list of conscripts, I still don't know who was sacrificed in the name of the weapon project.
Your skills and knowledge can finally be put to good use. Let's bring an end to the weapons project together. So that.
But what can I do? For years, all I've known is how to build tools of destruction. The XIV Legion is far from finished. They're biding their time, waiting until the right moment to unleash the final weapon. And when they do, it will bring naught but death and woe to all who stand in their way. Even after everything they've taken from us, they still want more. If it weren't for the Empire, Melisandre would still be here. She was the kindest person I ever met, but to the Empire, she was just another pawn in their games. I will never forget her. There's a way I can make a difference. I know there is. But first, I need to speak with members of the Ironworks. I've a feeling that war machina you used to beat the Sapphire weapon will be called into action again. Until then, there's still time to make improvements, and I intend to help. I'll still be going ahead with the plan to build a monument, but stopping the Empire must come first. I hope Melisandre and the others can wait a little longer. Before I go, allow me to express my gratitude. I don't know what I'd have done if it weren't for you. Until we meet again.
Okay. So I believe we just need to go and speak with someone. Yep. The other place. That should finish up the stuff for patch 5.4. We need to go and do Delicate as a flower, and then that'll probably be where I go in and end the stream.
So, how was your time in Turncliffe? I see. Fate has dealt her a cruel hand, but now she has a chance to make a fresh start. The same could be said of the whole of Turncliffe. It seems the liberation of that one small town will become a pivotal moment in Warlight's history. Perhaps it won't be too long before the rest of the region is free from the Empire. Naturally, we'd be honored to fight alongside the people of Warlight. We won't rest until the Imperials are sent fleeing with their tails between their legs. Until that day arrives, we'll carry on doing our bit to support you and the others in ending the weapon project. I'll be sure to pass on any pertinent information. In the meantime, take care.
Okay, didn't even give me a cutscene there. Nice. Alright, so go over, get the last 4 Dreaming Irises, and hand in the quest. And that'll basically allow me to get another person I can play Triple Triad against. I actually don't remember how many is it that I still need to play against in order to get the next achievement. 6 more people. And then I technically don't need to play against anymore, but I still kind of do in order to get the rest of the cards I need for the achievement. At least I'm getting pretty close. I actually have less than 100 left. Yep, for sure I do. I think it's like 312 I need. Where is that achievement? I've gone past it. There it is. Yep, 312. I got 233 of them. Around 79, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's 79. More cards. And I suppose the remaining ones are just from either Eureka, someone that I can only fight after I've done a certain amount of stuff in boss chat, I believe. And then it's basically just fighting or playing against certain opponents, doing certain dungeons, and then there are a few small amount that I need to still like buy for the MGP. And then I still also need to get the one from doing the winning an open tournament. But I'm slowly getting there at least. This.
Did you find any irises along the river?
Valued by the Ananta for its curative properties, this flower is believed to be a gift from Lakshmi, the Lady of Bliss.
Excellent. My sisters will be happy to see this when they begin molding.
You could just got a phone call from the pizza place. They have something in the kitchen that causes food poisoning. What the? You're not lucky with food today. What is the chance of you basically having, like using food that's apparently expired, and then ordering something that then apparently has food poisoning in the kitchen? Like, you're not very lucky with your food today. Fate wants to be sitting down tomorrow. Sounds like it.
We shed periodically, but this leaves us quite vulnerable for a time. These flowers create a potent elixir that protects our scales until they've completely hardened. They are a loving gift from our mother, Lakshmi, that we may always remain beautiful. The Kaliana would destroy them if only to spite us. But when they begin to mold, they are sure to regret their decision.
Okay. Very unlocked. Or we'll try it. And she only has 2 cards. And that is the Ananta card. She's the only one who can give that. And the Kikiran Meat Eater. Also only available for her. Nice. Oh. It's been just over 3 hours now, so I think I will go ahead and start ending the stream. So let's see here. Who do we have over on Twitch also? Why is that gone now? Wait. You're taking time bomb at the moment, so you're gonna drive down to the store and get some snacks and other fiber food. The price is the pizza place gave you a discount for the next time. I suppose that's gonna be a next time. Yeah, I feel like if a place has like problems with their like kitchen and like food poisoning, that's maybe not a place that I would be interested in buying from again. Just gonna be honest. But as I just mentioned, Twitch had kind of implemented something where you could like pin like 3 people that you follow or just streamers to like your front page so you could easily find them. That feature's not there anymore for me. So I'm just kind of like, why is that gone? That used to be there. They rolled that out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had it rolled out like... I think I noticed it last time on Friday or Saturday. I think that was the first day I noticed it. And I also saw some people like... I think some people on Twitter I saw also had it. They had it in the first place. Huh. Weird. I guess they might have rolled it out to some people to like test it, but I guess they might have rolled it back. Something. Maybe there were some problems that they need to fix. Who knows? I know that I saw some people who said that they would like more than just 3 people that they could pin. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a new version of it in a few weeks, a month, something like that. Who knows? Let's see here. Don't follow Zach Buzzy. Then do it for Twitch news and features. Is that over on Twitch? Or what? Alright, it is on Twitter. Okay. Guess I'll check him out. Basically just opened his Twitter, so yeah, I'll probably try and check him out. Let's see here. I am kind of thinking that we can go ahead and possibly raid Ame. He is currently streaming some Genshin Impact. I don't know if it's with someone else, but could be. Although I think she might just be streaming on her own, but there's apparently a summer event currently happening, and she apparently has drops enabled. I guess there are some drops for Genshin Impact right now. I don't know, but yeah. What is this? Here's what is this drop thing? They use that money on gambling, yeah. Okay, so apparently it's that if you basically watch streamers who have the Genshin Impact drops, you can apparently get some. It seems like you can get 20,000 more for watching 15 minutes. For sanctifying Unction, I think it's pronounced. Watching 30 minutes on top of that. 5 Mystic Enchantment Ore for watching an additional hour. 3 Heroes Wit for watching an additional 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then 30 Primal Gems for watching an additional 2 hours. So... how much is that? That is... I think that's like... if I'm understanding this correctly, you watch 5 hours and 15 minutes, you basically get all of those rewards. I don't really know what most of those things are used for. I think more is just general currency. The 3 in the middle, I don't really know what they're used for. I'm guessing that's upgrading stuff. And I think the last stuff, the Primo Gems, are used for like summoning other characters you can then use. I think. Not entirely sure. But yeah. I guess I'll just go into the stream now. So let's see. Next stream is gonna be on Wednesday, because the Stardew Valley co-op or collab that I've been doing with the how the fuck am I forgetting their names now? Why the fuck am I forgetting their names? Why am I blanking on that? Get that each time. Follow. Thank you. Let me just pull this up. Basically the Stardew Valley collab that I've been doing with the Angelite, Clockwork, Cryptid, and Jonas. It's gonna be skipped this week because Cryptid is basically just not able to join tomorrow, so we just decided just wait a week because we just kind of prefer to just have all of us in the game at the same time, so that some of us don't end up getting skipped in terms of, or don't end up missing out on progress in terms of days. So yeah, so it's better with all, yeah. Also, just because if he didn't join, we would basically end up like progressing further than he would. He would basically come back to like maybe like halfway through summer, because I think we were like in around the start of summer in the game. So yeah, we're just waiting for next week. So I should be back on Wednesday, hopefully, where the plan is basically just complete this quest line that I'm currently doing, do a little bit of extra stuff in Austria is what I'm thinking, so I can basically get to the point where I can start progress in that off stream, so I can basically just, yeah, do stuff with that. Because currently I think I still have some quests left before I can actually properly do stuff there. And I guess we'll also quickly do the Nier Automata or your Dark Apocalypse thingy, like the week quest stuff that I have. And then depending on how much time we have left after all of that stuff, I guess I'll do a few like side quests in order to unlock more Triple Triad opponents. I still have several that I need to unlock through quests. But yeah. Oh yeah, and the plan for Friday and Saturday specifically is that we're going to be starting on Endwalker that day, for those 2 days. So that's going to be interesting, because that's a new expansion. Or the new expansion I'm basically getting started on, so I can hopefully soon get to a point where I don't need to worry about spoilers anymore, which is honestly gonna be very nice, because my god, do I just want to be able to just watch any sort of content without having to worry about there being spoilers of some sort. But yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream now, so yeah. Gonna go ahead and raid May. So yeah. So yeah, I guess until next time, guys, I'll see ya.